On this week's show, Callie Gullickson is set to return in September and is rumored to be writing a mocktail book.
Plus, Hannah Corbin is also writing a book, and the Tortured Poets Department Artist Series is finally here this week.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 184 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I am back.
She's back. She still has a job.
I still have an unpaid job with my amazing co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John, how are you?
Good to see you. It's been a long time. I've missed that face.
Oh,
missed that smile.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I missed you guys. I have to say, I was a good girl. I watched those episodes, and you guys did great. You guys did awesome.
We try.
You did, and it's nice to see Chris out front there and not and just feeling comfortable about being in front of the camera. So
he's got the hang of it at this point.
And of course, a huge thank you to Jamie Brooks, Pedal to Paris, who covered us that first week that I was gone while you and I were both out of town.
Yep.
And Jamie, you did an amazing job. So thank you so much for stepping in and hanging with Chris. The summer is off to a very hot and humid start. Hey, wow. It has been quite miserable as far as weather goes. I mean, I don't think it matters where you are in the world, unless you're in the southern hemisphere. Unless you're in the southern hemisphere. So the Australians are enjoying some cold weather. But boy, it's been hot. It's been too hot to even work out outside. I don't know how folks are running and doing stuff outside because it is really, really miserable.
Yeah, that humidity just doesn't help anything. And even when I'm in my nice, cool basement, and it's still humid outside, I still feel it because I'm still drenched. It still affects you, even inside in the air conditioning. Still,
it's crazy. But but otherwise, glad to be back. I have to tell you,
good vacation, travels.
I did. We had a fantastic time. We were celebrating my husband's birthday, and then we had my nephew's wedding. So all good stuff. But it was kind of nice to just not worry about working out like a crazy person for 3 weeks. Thought it was going to be harder to get back into it, and
so bad.
It wasn't so bad. I came back with Maddie's walk and talk, which is always fun. It's
a nice way to ease back into it.
It was fantastic. Of course, you were there right by my side. I always love that. So came back to that and, kept up with my meditations and my, tried to get some yogas in while I was gone and the odd kind of run or walk while I was gone.
Get your blue dots.
But, But, it was really nice to be able to just come back and ease back into it, knowing that it was just right there. I was kind of excited. My house sitter got to experience my Peloton gym while I was gone and loved it. And I think I've hooked her. So I'm so excited. She may look at and end up getting something. So she loved it. So that's always fun when you get new people, onto the platform. That hadn't, I didn't think there were still people out there that hadn't heard about Peloton or done Peloton. So it was nice to see her quite excited.
So she got a little taste for the Pelo gear.
She did. She's a runner, so she was on my tread, and she said it was just too hot. She said, "Can I use your tread?" She messaged me, and I said, "Of course you can use it." So I set her up, and she got hooked. So that was kind of fun.
Sweet.
To get somebody else onto the platform.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't have too much today, but as always, before we get started with the news, we always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see that big smile that I have right now, because I'm sitting next to John, just hit the subscribe button at the bottom right-hand side of the screen and the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
Yes, and of course, we are on all traditional podcast platforms. You can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And please leave us those reviews. We do really appreciate the 5-star reviews. We love to read them on the show from time to time, and we do really take your feedback into account on ways that we can enhance and improve the show. So please keep those coming.
Awesome. And finally, we are on Facebook, Instagram, X. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms for all of the latest news. And now, John, let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, it's officially here. The Taylor Swift Tortured Poets Department, or TTPD, which will probably be thrown out there from time to time for short, is finally here. It took place on Thursday, July 11th, this past week, with actually one additional class on Friday. But the classes, they showed up on the upcoming schedule this past Monday. And then on Tuesday, we got the official Peloton announcement from the artist series, which they made. They said, down bad crying at the gym, not with our latest Taylor Swift artist series, move to the superstar's history-making album, Tortured Poets Department, in an anthology of new classes on the bike, tread, mat, and more. So right now there's at least 7 classes across 4 modalities, including a special 2-for-1 yoga class with Anna and Aditi, and most are being loaded to the schedule as live or premiere classes. But there is at least one additional class that's being released directly to the on-demand library. So what we have is a 30-minute bar with Allie. That kicked it off, the first class on the 11th in the morning. Then we got a 20-minute outdoor walk, which dropped on demand with Susie Chan. We got a 30-minute run with Jeffy McEachern, which happened on the afternoon, that Thursday afternoon. That was released initially as a premiere. A 30-minute yoga flow with Anna and Aditi, the 2-for-1 I just mentioned. A 30-minute ride with Robin Arzon, which was recorded 2 weeks ago, which was a special invite-only class, which kind of kicked off all the speculation about, was this going to be the new artist series with Taylor Swift? That's coming out. That came out on the night of Thursday in the 7 p.m. slot. We got a 30-minute run at the same time as the Robin ride. We got a 30-minute live run with Olivia Motto that Thursday night. And then Charlotte Wiedenbach, she got that random Friday class that dropped on Friday the 12th. That happened live. It was a 30-minute ride in German. So, yeah, like I said, members first began speculating that another series was on the way, obviously, when her album, TTPD, was released back, I think it was April 18th, it came out. But then that was all confirmed once members started getting this invite-only email to Robin's class, which was recorded on June 27th. So as the schedule started shaping up for July 11th with numerous generic pop classes that Chris Lewis was noticing, with no other artist series kind of in sight on the horizon, it kind of became clear that it was going to be the new Taylor Swift artist series. So we've had a lot of Taylor Swift artist series in the past. There's a 1989 Taylor's version. There's a Midnight's, Folklore, Evermore. There's the Red artist series that she re-recorded, Taylor's version. There's also now a dedicated collection, so you can easily find all these new ones as well as the past ones on the platform. So that's nice. It's kind of prominently right there, so it's pretty hard to miss. But no, a lot of people have been waiting. I'm going to throw it out there, John.
I'm going to throw it out there.
Thing?
No, absolutely. I'm very excited about it, but I'm just bummed
that
you weren't invited. I know you're such a big Swiftie, and sometimes I think Peloton just misses the bar.
No, I think there's way more deserving and the longer time Swifties. I'm recently, like this past year, I've just recently massively come out as I've always loved her, but I've just recently this past year come out as a massive supporter Swiftie. So fan. No, yeah. And I was just there, I was just there the prior weekend.
You did.
So
yeah. And you had such an awesome weekend.
It would have been cool if it had been live and not, pre-record, to be there.
Right. No, that's true too. That's true too. No, I think this is going to be a fun series. It was a little surprised as to some of the instructors that got the, that got this series. I mean, just off the top of my head, like Mariana is a huge Swiftie fan. It would have been so cool to have had Mariana and one of the other yoga instructors maybe throwing a little bit of Spanish into, into the yoga workout. So I was very surprised that she never got that. I guess there's a rhyme and reason for everything that we don't really know, that what goes on behind the scenes. But
I know, I'm sure this was a highly competitive one for all the instructors to put in and request for. So
right. I know, and she has gotten a few. I mean, she's had in the past a couple of those artist series. So maybe they would switching it around a little bit. Like Ali Love had gotten most of the rides, and Robin got the ride, and Ali got a bar class. But yeah. So busy with everybody on there. I'm sure there'll be lots for everyone next week as class picks of the week. I'm sure those will be sure. Folks will definitely pick that. All right, well, moving on. Remember Callie Gullickson, strength instructor? All right. Well, she addressed mom influencer and Mocktail
currently.
Queen. She addressed members' concerns about her potential return. She shared in a recent Instagram comment and story that she does plan to return from her maternity leave in September. So I guess she took a little bit longer before she decided to come back. Callie and her husband have actually been living in Florida since the birth of their child, Cash, in March. And despite her temporary relocation, she has assured followers that she will resume teaching at Peloton in New York City come September. So her family are down in Florida. She obviously needed that time, with some help. It's hard to bring a baby into the world and have nobody around to help you. And I think they were pretty much on their own up in New York. So they had moved down to Florida to be closer to her parents. And she assures folks that she is coming back. So that is great news for strength folk. She has also reported that she is writing a book. What's new? But this one's going to be a little bit different, folks. This one is titled Mocktail Hour. It's set to be published in the fall of 2024. And the book will likely be a collection of mocktail recipes, reflecting Callie's passion for non-alcoholic beverages, which she frequently shares on her social media accounts. She's also launched her new website, calliebyoe.co, where she offers wellness tips, links, and mocktail recipes. So that's something to look out for, is a mocktail recipe. And there are so many folks that have chosen to go alcohol free. It's definitely become, not even just from an alcoholic perspective, but just from a healthy perspective. I mean, I very quietly decided to do that back in October, and haven't had a drink since October, and it feels great. I wanted to drop some of the weight that I had gained while I was off the platform with my surgery, and I got to tell you, it just feels good. I'm not a mocktail person, because for me it was all about the calories. So if I wasn't going to have alcohol, I wasn't going to have this, the syrups and stuff with the mocktail.
Yeah, and just
it doesn't
replace
even
it with
bother
another
me.
Calorie.
It doesn't bother me. I have my club soda with my live, and it's great.
Right.
So I think people will be looking forward to seeing that come out.
Yeah. Well, the list of Peloton instructors just continues to grow of new authors, because Hannah Corbin apparently is also working on a new book, this card, deck, and guidebook. This was actually revealed in the biography section of her Peloton profile page. It describes Hannah's book as follows. Stay tuned for her upcoming card, deck, and guidebook, affectionately titled, Did You Stretch Tho? Wherever you go with Hannah, the bike, the mat, or the stage, you'll leave feeling fabulous. So as of recording time right now, Hannah has not personally made any kind of announcement or shared any information about this upcoming book via her social media pages. However, her website has also recently been updated and has a section teasing the book. And although the timelines could change, it isn't currently expected until 2025, so it's a little ways off.
Right.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. All right. Well, switching gears, Peloton has actually introduced a new style of running classes called pace target classes. We had spoken about it previously, but a lot of folks couldn't find them. And the reason being is that they are only available on the Peloton Tread and Tread Plus. So folks are not able to pull those off the web or their app. It is purely on the hardware. In these classes, instructors call out effort levels instead of specific speeds, which are then mapped to speed ranges based on the difficulty level chosen by the member. Although these classes are not, as I said, searchable in the on-demand library via the Apple website, they're grouped under the Pace Target collection on your hardware. Peloton have been adding new Pace Target classes weekly, though they have not been updating the collection regularly. So you got to kind of look for them if you really want to be able to do them. Here is a list of just some of the Pace Target classes that we've seen that have dropped. There's a 30-minute rock run with Mariana, which dropped just this past Wednesday. There's a 20-minute hit run with Jess Sims, also dropped this past Wednesday. Endurance run with Jeffrey McKeechan. That one is in German, and that dropped back on July the 7th. A 90s hip-hop run with Adrian Williams, and that dropped on July the 3rd. Bex Gentry has a Extra 10 and Endurance, which was on the 1st of July. And then there's a 20-minute indie rock run with Susie Chan that dropped on June the 29th. So if you guys are interested, as I said, head over to the hardware to be able to kind of pull those classes and check them out, see whether that appeals to you, differently to an instructor calling out the numbers of what they expect you to be doing.
And I noticed the other day when I was just scrolling through the library on my Tread, the classes that are specifically designed with Pace Target, when you're scrolling through the classes, just depending on how you're sorting, in the little picture frame of the class, there's a little bit of text that says Pace Target. So it's right there. It's clearly denoted, so you can easily kind of see if you happen to just be scrolling through on the hardware.
Very helpful. Very helpful. Yep, that's awesome.
Well, somewhat hidden in the recent news surrounding Peloton's live schedule changes was a possible hint towards potential barbell classes or programming. So in case you missed it last week, Peloton, announced this significant shift in their programming schedule, revealing that live classes would no longer be held on Wednesdays from either Peloton in New York or PSL in London. So, but in addition, one little thing, Peloton specifically promised that members should expect more with strength programming. So according to the press release, they said, strength is our second most popular modality and millions of people take our strength classes each week. We are exploring new ways to help members reach strength goals, including gym-focused content and progressive strength training programs. Included in the press release was an image of Rad Lopez using a barbell while being recorded by a film crew. In the image, it showed a device. The image even showed a device tracking or counting his reps, but the location, it was not obviously at PSNY, but a different site. So this could hint that Peloton is potentially working on new strength content utilizing a barbell.
Gyms, yeah.
Yeah, so this is not the first time that the company's teased the use of barbells on the platform. Earlier this year, there were numerous instructors posted behind the scenes content of recent Peloton photo shoots, and several shots also included with barbells.
Interesting. We'll have to look out for those. Well, keeping up with strength, Peloton has also announced some nice, exciting new strength content for July, featuring a new 3-day split strength program with Rebecca Kennedy, and the addition of Joslyn Thompson Rule as a strength coach. Very exciting. Rebecca's 3-day split program will launch on July the 26th. It focuses on heavier weights and targets specific areas of the body. It will be part of Peloton's official programs, so it does require members to follow that structured schedule. Always remember that Chris does have the ability for you to go in on the website and click classes if you do not want to follow the structure directly, if you want to go out of order. Yeah. So just remember that. And then Joslyn has a strength basics collection, which will debut on July the 19th. It includes 10-minute classes that break down foundational strength moves, which is aimed at helping both new and experienced lifters perfect their form. Really, really like that, because often I wonder if what I'm doing, is in fact the right way. So I think that that's a very valuable addition that they're doing. And she's definitely, she does her boot camp, so her strength is strong. Everybody loves her boot camp classes that she has on Sunday mornings. So that's kind of exciting that we're going to get that from Joslyn. I got to tell you, I just got back, having just gotten back, I got back into doing strength with Rebecca. I'm doing her 5-day split at the moment. And you know what? It hurts. Everything hurts.
You feel it the next day or 2 days later.
Really, if you haven't been doing, it's fine to do cardio. And she put something out there, and I think she's kind of, Rebecca just put something out there. I don't know if you saw that on her social about the value of strength. I mean, we all know it. We talk about it all the time. We just don't do it all the time. But she was saying, even though we get these incredible endorphins with doing our cardio workouts, our running and, cycling, etc., there is such value into strength. And, we know that. And she's just a huge advocate for that. So again, I think just promoting what's coming up in this new split program that she's about to launch. So exciting. And I like the idea of it being 3 days. Sometimes that 5 days is just a little bit too much.
More of a commitment,
Yeah. I'm finding it hard to kind of fix it into my week. So 3 days will be perfect. I'm definitely excited about that. Yeah.
Well, staying on the topic of strength, for anyone who wants more Adrian long-form strength, just a random tidbit on the upcoming live schedule, he has a 60-minute full-body strength class coming up. It's happening live on Saturday morning, July 20th at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So count yourself in, mark that off in your calendar if you want to take that one coming up in just under a week now.
I'm really curious to know if those folks that signed up to be in studio with him knew it was a 60-minute class and how they feel about doing 60 minutes in studio live on camera. That's tough.
When I was there 2 weeks ago, I was really tempted. I really wanted to do a class with Andy because I love him. And, he has his TS60 and it's now, on Sundays, it's at 8 a.m. And Jen's ride was at 10 a.m. and it was doable, but I just opted not to do it because I didn't want to be smoked for the ride.
Yeah, you would have. I knew I would have just been.
I would have been drenched. I would have just been totally exhausted.
Exhausted.
So I just decided to save it all for the ride. But I really wanted to do that strength as well.
Yeah.
But 60 minutes is a lot, especially in the studio.
Correct.
It's even more tiring than being at home and not being in your own environment with a fan on you. AC.
Correct. But Adrian's so fun. I mean, I think this will be a great class. That'll be, I'm sure folks are very excited about that.
For sure.
All right. Well, German cycling instructor Cliff Dwenger has released a new gospel song titled Work Hard, Pray Hard in collaboration with the Big Gospel Choir. The song, which features Cliff's wife and daughter, was released on streaming platforms under the name Afro Cliff. It was also included in his Gloriously Gospel ride on July the 3rd.
It's in German, I assume, the song?
It is in English.
No.
I think the song is in English. It's not in German. But I could be corrected. I have not heard it. I apologize. Thank you for catching me off guard. But I do think it may be in English. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
That's catchy.
It is. It's great. This marks the third ride in his gospel series where the Big Gospel Choir participated by singing along during the class. Cliff is the first Peloton instructor to release his own song and integrate it into a class. I do believe it's English because I do believe these classes are in English. So
Gotcha.
I'm almost 100% sure that it is English. I'm going to check it up while you're doing the next story, but I'm almost sure that it is. All right.
I just pulled it up.
Did you look?
I just pulled it up on Spotify. It's in English. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I did think it was in English because I know the classes are in English. Yeah. So that's exciting for Cliff. I mean, what a cool, what a cool kind of deviation.
Well, Peloton shared which featured classes you can look forward to during their week of July 8th to the 14th in their weekly This Week at Peloton Instagram post, where we're going to recap that for you. First up, Anna Greenberg teaching a live 20-minute focus flow. She taught that on Tuesday, July 9th, and this class is labeled Beginner. And then next, there are new classes in Spanish dropping on demand from Rad Lopez, including the first ever Spanish stretch. So this past Wednesday, July 10th, we got a 5-minute upper body stretch in Spanish, which is now available on demand. And then later that day, we also got a 5-minute upper body strength warm-up, which is also now available. Strength warm-ups, they can be found under that strength category by filtering, by selecting warm-up, just so you know. And then also Cliff Dwenger, we were just talking about, now has a class collection for his signature class series, Gloriously Gospel in German. And so far in the collection, there are 3 Gloriously Gospel rides, as well as a 5-minute warm-up ride and a 5-minute cool-down. And then lastly, there are 2 new upcoming Disney 2000 classes. Interestingly, the classes are actually scheduled for this coming Tuesday, July 16th, which falls outside of this 7-day recap. But they included it in the This Week at Peloton post from this past week. So your guy, John Hosking,
I know,
he's teaching a live Disney 2000s 20-minute walk on the 16th. And I guess that's early in the mornings, London time. Like 7:30 London time.
7:30 or 7 a.m. So
what's
it's middle
that,
of the night.
Noonish our time?
2:30. No, other way around.
It's earlier.
Other way around. Yeah.
So you're not doing that one live.
Not live.
Then Sam Yo is teaching a live Disney 2000s 30-minute ride at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. London time.
Nice. That should be fun. Yeah, definitely threw folks off that they announced it in the This Week at Peloton, because I was also confused, and then I realized it was the week after. So,
it's kind of
different. All right. Yeah. Anyway, Peloton, okay, this is for folks that were very frustrated this past week. Peloton experienced a bug on the leaderboard where output metrics were incorrectly replaced by large numbers with a mileage abbreviation MI. The issue began on July the 10th, so this past Wednesday, and affected both Peloton treads and bikes, likely impacting rowers as well. The displayed number appeared to be the members' output increased by 1,000 and shown in joules instead of kilojoules. The issue did not affect the data stored in user profiles, as completed workout activities displayed the correct output count. Peloton did acknowledge the problem and reported that the fix was being implemented and monitored. So if those folks saw that happen, I'm sure people were a little panicked, but it was being looked into.
Yeah, on Wednesday, I took Allie's live afternoon 30-minute pop punk ride. I didn't see that issue, so maybe they went ahead and fixed the glitch.
Got it.
As they say. Well, Peloton has won a recent lawsuit over the use of the name Peloton in a company brand. So the lawsuit was against a Belgian women's company called the Women's Peloton. Her name is Elke Bleiert. She is the wife of a professional cyclist, Jasper Stuyven. She founded the Women's Peloton organization back in 2021, and the group, it's an online company and community for female cyclists. So Peloton had taken Bleiert to court over the use of the word Peloton in their brand name and won. Velo reported that this case has been ongoing for several years, saying Bleiert defended her group for several years through a series of court proceedings before she finally lost the case this month on appeal. In a press release about the ruling, Blyart said, I wanted to go to court not only for myself, but also for all other companies with a passion for cycling. It is our understanding that Peloton had made multiple good faith attempts to resolve the matter amicably, but ultimately had taken the steps of filing a lawsuit to protect their trademark. And in their own statement, Peloton said the following: fostering community is core to what we do at Peloton. While we may not own the common term Peloton, nor do we wish to prevent others from using it in a connection with cycling, it is important that we protect current and future Peloton members when using confusing similar names to sell products and services that are comparable to ours.
Makes sense. I mean, I get it. I mean, they were probably a little presumptuous in taking the name in 2021, which was, just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and I noticed a lot of people thought it was a bit heavy-handed to Peloton, but I can understand how they're very protective of the brand and the name. But it's such a common term, way before Peloton
it is, of course,
became a company. So a lot of people, it was a very kind of split argument, I was saying.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, Amazon Prime days are coming up this coming week. And for those folks that have not yet purchased a bike or are looking at purchase a second bike, there's good news. The original Peloton bike will be available for $1,000. So that is a 30% discount from the regular price of $1,445. This is, of course, during Amazon's Prime Days, which is July the 16th and 17th. Now, there's a caveat to this. The deal is invite only, meaning not all Prime members will have access. So interested customers must request an invite via the product page and will be notified via email if their request is granted. The email will include a unique link to purchase the bike at the discounted price, and it is valid for just 4 hours.
4 hours, Jesus!
That's it. So you kind of gotta get it, and if you are interested in getting it. But this is the largest discount offered for the original Peloton bike on Prime Day to date. Additionally, some accessories will be available, and those will be at up to 70% off. So quite a big sale for folks that are potentially looking at purchasing a bike. And remember, it is a bike, not a bike plus, but that is a pretty good deal. Yeah. That is a pretty good deal.
Well, Peloton is back to offering the well-known 30-day free trial of the digital app for new members. So you may recall back in April of this year, Peloton dropped the free trial duration from 30 to 7 days. And this coincided with them moving the free membership tier of their app for new signups, with just the App 1 and the App Plus tiers remaining to choose from. However, in recent weeks, though, Peloton quietly updated their free trial to once again be 30 days. And now you can choose whether you want a free trial of the App 1 tier or the App Plus on Peloton's app website, which details out which features are included. I think with the App 1, you get 3 classes a month that you get access to, and the App Plus, I think you get full access to the full suite. But when you sign up for the 30-day free trial, you have the option of choosing between the two. And then after the 30 days, obviously, if you haven't canceled before then, you'll automatically be billed for whichever app tier you signed up for. So it's $12.99 a month for the App 1 or $24 a month for the App Plus. But it's also worth noting that new members can get a 60-day free trial of the Peloton app if they receive a guest pass from an existing Peloton member. So if existing members, if you're in, it always seems to pop up somewhere when you're scrolling through the app, that guest pass option where you can, I guess it's a link or a code that you can send to somebody if you want to get them app access and get a free 60-day trial for new signups.
Yeah. So I did see that.
They can always get 60 days free.
Up. And I don't know if we spoke about it in the last couple of weeks, but I'd also noticed, are they not giving they're not giving $100 credits anymore for apparel? Because I noticed that you can get 2 months free on membership now.
Yeah, so now it's member. We covered it last week. There was a promotion. It's since expired, but if you referred somebody, the referrer got 2 months. We got, as the referrer, got 2 months of free membership, but that has expired. But now I think it's gone back now to the $100
apparel. That was just
apparel credit that you normally would receive.
Got it. Okay, I wasn't sure if that was the new way. I did actually see expiration date. You're right. It was the 9th. I think it was this past week that it expired. You're quite right. All right. Just want to kind of throw that out there because I figured I'd missed something over the last couple of weeks. Well, Allie Love shared that she collaborated with Peloton Apparel and helped design a new collection that dropped this past Thursday, July the 11th. She chatted about it in her pre-show of her bar class on Wednesday, saying that as an instructor, it's a really big deal, and she is very proud of it. She said it's been about 7 years since she had a collection that she helped design, and whilst it doesn't have her name on it, it has these kind of little hearts, which kind of her branding or whatever. But she said that they have these little hearts. And she did say that the collection and collaboration is for everyone. They have T-shirts, shorts, a windbreaker, a tight set. So definitely some fun new apparel that has come out. I think people were disappointed that there wasn't a TTPD drop in the apparel.
A lot of people thought there was going to be some sort of tie, which would have been super cool. But a lot of folks had thought there was some sort of tie-in because the TTPD classes all, were released, came out on July 11th. And then the announcement from the apparel, it kind of had this Tortured Poets Department sort of a feel to it.
Vibe.
The color scheme. And I guess just, there was very little detail about it. So there's just obviously the speculation was flying around it. But she was showing off a couple sets of the new collection in her ride in the pre-show on Wednesday. And I think she was wearing a different outfit from her bar class earlier that morning as well.
Very cool. Very cool. So I don't know if anyone's purchased that, but
I don't know if there's any. I mean, it looked the green outfit she was wearing in the ride looked pretty nice. I don't know if there's anything for men's from that collection.
They said there were some shorts and T-shirts and stuff.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah. So all right, and I guess we are going to go right into Instructor in the News, and you kick it off, John.
All right. Well, Rad Lopez posted on Instagram this week that he is now a Nike athlete and brand partner with the company. In his post, he went on to say, I represent the strength it takes in being the underdog. I represent Nuestra Cultura. Finally, I represent and a part of the Nike family. So I think he joins Tunde. And who else is a part of? I'm trying to think what other instructors are Nike brand partners besides Tunde now. There's got to be maybe one other.
It's Jess Sims.
Jess Sims. That sounds. Yeah, she wears a lot of Nike.
She does wear a lot of Nike.
She has a Nike sneaker obsession.
I don't know if she's an official brand partner, but she definitely promotes Nike a lot.
Well,
so
congrats to Rad.
Who knows? Yeah. All right. Well, the YMCA of Metropolitan Chicago is hosting Faces of Fitness Chicago, which is a fitness festival on Saturday, July the 27th and Sunday, July the 28th in River North, Chicago. The event features Chicago's top studio classes and instructors in a festival-style environment where attendees can participate in as many classes as they want. And a Peloton fave, Tunde, will actually be there leading a bodyweight strength class on Sunday, July the 28th at 9:30 a.m. It will be followed by a meet and greet at the YMCA booth in the Wellness Village. Tickets for the festival can be purchased with a $10 discount using the code YMCA. And a portion of the ticket sales will benefit urban initiatives. So if you are interested in doing a strength class with Tunde and you're in the Chicago metro area, definitely look into that. That should be fun.
Great. Well, Eric Yeager and Jeffrey McEachern are doing charity pride, or participating in a charity pride run in Berlin for a great cause on Saturday, July 27th. For every person who runs locally, they will donate €2 to the Berlin AIDS Health nonprofit organization that benefits fighting the spread of HIV and AIDS. They also said for folks that participate online, they said link us in your run on Instagram that day, and they will also contribute that donation that they had pledged. They said the run is between 5 and 10 kilometers, and it's suitable for every training level. So don't feel intimidated, because it's a run or anything like that. They said it's very, all experience levels are welcome.
That's awesome. And Ash Pryor was recently on the podcast The Vault with Dr. Judith Joseph. The podcast episode titled Ash Pryor, Overcoming Invisible Battles and Embracing Fear with Confidence, has Ash, Peloton's first plus-size instructor, share her journey of resilience and advocacy. Having been diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, Ash says she's faced significant health challenges, but remained dedicated to her fitness goals. She said that since joining Peloton in September of 2022, she has used her platform to combat body shaming and encourage body positivity. Some other key topics that were discussed include living with an invisible condition, the importance of moving with kindness, the mind-body connection, the value of showing up as you are, and embracing fear and doing things that serve you. Ash definitely inspires many of us, showing up unapologetically and encouraging others to embrace their unique journeys. So this was a really an amazing podcast, hearing her just give her perspective of what she's had to endure and overcoming all of it. To add a little tidbit to that, I did see on her social, she had just posted something recently as well about I guess she was in a gym working out. Oh,
an interaction, yeah.
And an interaction with somebody who came up and kind of told her what to do. And she was, very passionate about her feelings as
like,
to...
who you're talking to a Peloton instructor.
Right, exactly.
You want to comment on their forum.
But good for her, for her for speaking out and sharing that, because I think people are so quick to judge and people are so quick to, and maybe think about what you're saying before you start a conversation.
Yeah, be
how
careful
you word
your wording.
A conversation.
Yeah,
exactly.
Your choice of words is important.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, Christine Derricolet, she is doing another workshop regarding menopause. It is a webinar, and it's actually happening this afternoon, Sunday, July 14th. It's called To Thy Own Self Be True, Menopause Edition, Session 2. It's a webinar. It's being held on Zoom. It's $35 if you wanted to join it. I assume it might be available to watch after on demand. But Christine had posted on Instagram about it, and she said it's incredibly important to me to use my voice to destigmatize the topic of menopause and keep the conversation going. So let's do it again.
I love it. I'm so glad that she's doing this. I'm definitely going to take a listen to it because I think that it's just an unspoken diagnosis of folks that just don't feel comfortable talking about it. So it's nice to hear certainly as a woman in her 50s, I can relate.
I mean, Jen Sherman, every now and then she talks about it,
yes,
the hot flashes. And I think a lot of female riders in that age range really can, relate to her and really love that about her.
For sure. So this is very, very welcomed, very welcome. And then last, an instructor in the news or post or pre-instructor in the news is Kristen McGee. So for those of you that are already missing Kristen, which many of us are desperately, you do have an opportunity to travel the south of France with her next year in March. Kristen shared on Instagram that she will be doing a wellness cruise in Provence from the 21st to the 26th of March of next year. The cruise is in collaboration with Author the Fan Travel, and includes yoga and meditation practices on board the ship as you sail through the beautiful French countryside. The 6-day cruise will include visits to Lyon, Vivers, Avignon, and Arles. And they will share that I signed up to do it.
You did?
I did. I was looking for something next year. I actually signed up to do it with
spring
my daughter.
break time for a lot of us.
Yeah. And I'm really excited about it. So it is something I've definitely been wanting to do. I was looking at some kind of retreat, and that may still come into play towards the end of the year. But this is for next March. I'm really excited about it. So anybody that is interested, definitely look into it. There's still tons of space available, but definitely look into it. I believe that Chris has a link to the to the cruise and to the sign up. You do have to make your own way to France. It does not include the air travel. But
so it departs from France, and
it departs from Lyon in France, and it kind of goes down all the way to Marseille. It ends up in Marseille, and it includes it does include all the excursions. Everything on the boat is included. If you want to have a free if you want to have a one-on-one session with Kristen, there would be an additional fee for that. And folks can sign up.
That's an add-on.
Sign up. That's an add-on. But I mean, I'll share more with it once I know I'm actually meeting her for lunch in a couple of weeks. So I will find out more about it and let you guys know. But that could be something fun for those that are missing.
I was just curious to see. I'm very anti. It would take a lot to get me to go on a cruise. I'm just something about cruises I just don't want to be a part of. But I was looking at the room options, and I looked at the Royal Suite, which is the nicest room option. It looks pretty nice.
It does.
That's the only option that's currently sold out. But I mean, it looked pretty fancy. There's like almost this little fireplace in the room. It looks pretty fancy. I don't know a cruise liner. It's not like, it doesn't look like a massive ship.
No. I think it's just a couple hundred people. It's not a big, not a big cruise.
So you're not going to be dealing with those massive,
exactly.
Royal
I think
Caribbean
it literally is like 100.
crowds.
I think it's 100 or something.
It's
so,
nice.
Something fun. And then I don't know if anybody popped in, and I was trying to look at it. The story has disappeared, but she. This past weekend, did a meet and greet. Did you see that pop up in the city? And I don't remember. It was for a drink. It was for some drink. I don't know if anybody attended that with Kristen. Yeah.
No.
It's off social, but she had posted it on her social on It was this past Saturday.
I caught her. She was doing something with her band.
Yeah. No. This was kind of a meet and greet.
Okay.
For some. At some health store in the city. So if anybody went to that this past Saturday, let us know. But so she's keeping busy, and I'll fill you guys in after I get to meet with her, which will be fun. So that wraps it up, John. Why don't we kick off those class picks of the weeks, and why don't you go? Yeah.
All right. First up, Selena Samuela's 75-minute 2000s run. It was an outdoor run. It was an audio only. That run, Carly said, nice to see another longer run. Hope we get more. And then Emma Lovewell's 30-minute 4th of July ride from July 4th. Amajar 3 said, amazing playlist. In this one to celebrate the holiday. And then Anna Greenberg's 20-minute Pilates from July 5th. Amajar 3 gave us this one as well and said, great to get to use sliders in this class.
Nice. And then Ash had a extra 5 listening party row that dropped on July the 5th. This one comes to us from Matt Rose 82. And they said, always fun to check out new music in these listening party classes. And Benny Adami's 20-minute Celine Dion ride in German. That was from the 7th. It came to us from Amajar 3. They said this was everything I hoped and expected from this ride. So fun. Oh, I missed that. I am definitely going to have to jump on my bike with my new beautiful sparkly shoes and do that one. That should be so much fun. And then Sam Yo had a 20-minute a summer recovery ride, also from the 7th. This one came to us from Smithy Todd, and they said a moving meditation on the bike. the second of this series from Sam. So great and relaxing.
And then Cliff Dwenger's 30-minute gloriously gospel ride from July 7th. Holly KZ8 said Cliff wrote and used his own song in the class with the choir singing. It was amazing. And then Allie Love's 60-minute country pop ride from July 8th. We got that from Christina M. Romano. She said challenging and fun, plus long rides are always welcome. Then Hannah Corbin's 15-minute bar from July 8th. Helen Prusky said a good solid burn.
Nice. And then Camilla Roman, her 30-minute rock run, which was in English. It came to us from Teacher Victoria, and they said, good music, tough class. And then Maddie's walk and talk, his 30-minute walk and talk from July the 9th. This one came to us from Robin TSC. Same grade class on a new day. So that was a little confusing for some folks. Maddie has always had
some
live
people
classes.
Missed it. They thought it was...
Yeah, he's always had live classes on a Tuesday morning, though. But his walk and talk, since there are no lives on a Wednesday, he is now doing them on Tuesday. Robin T.S. said, same grade class on a new day. Always love catching up on the news in this class. And it was pretty hysterical.
Yeah, there's some funny, definitely some funny moments in there.
I
must say so myself.
And then Rebecca Kennedy had her 45-minute pop tread boot camp. This one was from the 9th. It came to us from Mac and C and Teresa Robbie, and they said 14 transitions in this one. Truly incredible. Did you do it, John?
I did it live. Did you? And sometimes I love when they mix it up and they add in all these extra transitions, because it just makes each segment go by so much faster, especially when you're running on the tread. So it just kind of breaks up the monotony of it that you feel at times,
nice.
On the longer classes, like the 45 and the 60-minute ones. I loved it. Yeah, it was great.
That's awesome.
All right. Switching over to a bike boot camp. Jess Sims' 60-minute full body bike boot camp from July 9th. Steffi713 said just another solid 60-minute bike boot camp from Jess. And then going back to the tread, Beck Gentry's 30-minute intervals run from July 9th. Marathon Mom 66 said great to have Beck's back after a few weeks off. And then rounding out the picks of the week, Rad Lopez's 5-minute upper body stretch, which was in Spanish, from July 10th. Julie MJ said great to have a Spanish language stretch available.
Nice. And I get that wraps it up. So,
this has got to be one of the shortest, tightest records of you and I.
Right. We did it. Less than an hour.
I don't think we yented it up enough and had enough banter in there.
What can I say? I don't know. And we got a pretty long intro.
Yeah.
But it does feel good to be back. I have to say, I missed knowing what was going on and sharing it with you folks. So it's always fun.
Are you going to be in one city for more than a week now, or are you heading to Florida in a couple days?
I'm heading up to NYC next weekend. So I have my July weekend. I'm trying to do a weekend a month in New York at PSNY if I can. Nice. I get to see my girls. And so I have a couple classes next weekend, so we'll have to figure out recording. But I'll probably record and then leave. But yeah, so I have next weekend up at PSNY. So let me know if anybody's going to be there. If you're listening to the show and you're going to be in studio, I'd love to say hi.
You got some classes booked?
Yeah. I have Jen. On Friday.
Oh, nice.
I have Maddie on Saturday. I am waitlisted for Jen on Sunday, and I have a DT on Monday morning, her meditation and yoga. So, okay. So a couple classes. I hate the fact that you can only have 4 classes, but that's okay. It gives more folks a chance. It does give more folks a chance, which is great. At least I have a couple classes, and I have a friend coming in from Canada who's in Maddie's class on Saturday, so that'll be so much fun for us to be together. So I'm around the rest of the summer, kind of just between New York and Maryland. I will be around. So all right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up. Try and keep it under an hour for you this week. Really was fun to be back, and always so fabulous to see you, John. Great to have you back.
Yes.
So thank you for that. Thank you for listening, for tuning in, for being a part of our show. As we always say, we like to bring you what's happening in the Peloton world so that it is all concised into one little podcast that you can get to listen to if you don't get to see the posts that pop up here and there. So I hope you enjoyed. As always, fun to be back. And I will see you all soon. Bye for now, everybody.
Yes, and from me here in Michigan, appreciate you tuning in, watching and listening. As always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.